Hello friends. Today in this video I am going to be telling the story of the 2018 Netflix murder mystery series Elite Season 1. If you are a fan of whodunits with a little bit of drama, you will definitely like this one. If you aren't a fan of watching international shows in another language, then this video is perfect for you because I will tell the story in English, and it is an awesome story, so stick around to find out what goes down. If you just want to recap a single episode of the season, I will put the episode timestamps in the description below. But with all that out of the way, let's get it started. Episode 1. Welcome. The series starts where we meet Samuel, who is walking around with bloody clothes, and then he is in an interrogation room being interviewed by the police. This story utilizes the two-timeline format that we see in shows like Lost. Some of the scenes will be before the murder took place, and some will be present day. Jump back 4 months earlier where Samuel arrives at his new high school after his old one collapsed. 3 students from that school got fully paid scholarships to this new private school, Las Encinas, that is really expensive, by the construction company. The 2 others are Christian and Nadia. We then meet the school king and queen Guzman and Lucrecia, who seem to run things there. Guzman isn't too fond of the new kids, but his sister, Marina, talks to them and tells them not to mind her bully brother. Samuel's brother, Nano, just got out of prison, and he wants to exact revenge on whoever made the old school fall down. Marina invites Samuel and Nadia to a party her father is throwing. Her father is the owner of the construction company that paid for the scholarships. Another student we meet is Ander, who is the principal's son and not from a rich family. He is in the closet and smokes a lot of weed. He buys his weed from a man named Omar. At the party, Marina and Guzman fight with their parents because Marina found out her father, Ventura, only paid for the scholarships because of a hush scandal he was involved in. Nano then arrives to the party and gets in a fight with Guzman because Nano thinks Ventura and his company were responsible for the school collapse. Samuel has to force him out. Guzman then tries hitting on Nadia, but doesn't go how he wanted it to. Marina seems to have a crush on both Guzman and his brother Nano. The episode closes by showing us who the person that was murdered, and unfortunately it was Marina. She was killed by a school trophy that is annually awarded to the best student. Episode 2. Desire. This one opens with Marina and Samuel building a bond with each other and being school partners in a project. Ander meets with Omar to buy some weed, but then they start kissing whenever Omar realizes Ander likes men. Omar is openly out, but Ander is still in the closet. For some odd reason, Lucrecia tells her boyfriend Guzman to seduce Nadia and then embarrass her because that is what bullies do for fun, I guess. Lucrecia might be evil. As Marina and Samuel are working on their project, Marina tells him about shady business dealings her dad has had. Nadia is working at her parents' shop one day when Guzman storms in and meets her parents, catching her off guard. It is also shown Omar is Nadia's brother, who tells him to leave their store. Another couple we meet is the couple, Carla and Polo, who very weirdly decide to bring Christian into their relationship. Guzman continues to try with Nadia, and it does seem like he is actually into her, not just a prank anymore. Guzman also tells Polo to not let Christian in his relationship or he will lose Carla. When Samuel returns home, Nano is frantic because he owes someone a lot of money and they will come after his family if he doesn't pay it. Nano wants to blackmail Ventura since he now knows about the shady business dealings because Marina told Samuel on camera. Samuel doesn't want it because he is crushing on her, but eventually agrees. Nadia goes over to Guzman's house to work on their project, but he just uses the time to hit on her. Samuel is over there too, working with Marina. Samuel tries sneaking into the master bedroom and into Ventura's safe, but Marina finds him and they get back to work. Christian goes over to Carla's house and starts hooking up with her until Polo arrives to watch, and Christian is freaked out by this and leaves. Back over to Samuel's house where he tells Nano he can't do it because his feelings for Marina. The episode closes with Guzman being interrogated by the police as he is the primary suspect in his sister's murder. Episode 3. Saturday night. This one opens with Guzman and Ander talking at school, and Guzman thinks Marina's death was drug-related, and he tells Ander that's why he doesn't want him smoking anything. The loan sharks meet with Nano once again and tell him the deadline is quickly approaching. Nano thinks his only chance is to steal Ventura's documents in his safe to blackmail him for 40,000 euros. Samuel throws a huge party that Friday night. Nano hits on Marina when she arrives. Ander and Omar take Molly and then kiss in another room. Guzman arrives to the party and sees Marina playing spin the bottle, so they argue. We also find out Marina is HIV positive and Guzman reminds her not to sleep with anyone without telling them. A little later, Marina and Nano sneak off to make out. Nano knows Samuel likes her too. They then go over to Marina's house where no one is home because they are out for dinner and hook up. After their sex sesh, Nano tries sneaking upstairs to get the documents, but then Guzman and Nadia arrive home. Nano is forced to hide. Nadia and Guzman go swimming in their upstairs pool, and Nadia is starting to crush on him. A flashback scene then shows Nano being interrogated by the police, and the detective said Samuel, his own brother, told him he saw Nano with Marina the night she died. Lucretia starts to get jealous of Nadia and Guzman, so she tells Nadia about the dare she made with Guzman. Nadia confronts him, and he tries apologizing, but she slaps him. Marina tells Samuel about her being HIV positive, and he gets really upset, and when he tells Nano later, Nano has a blank stare because he just hooked up with her and she didn't tell him. Christian agrees to have a threesome with Carla and Polo. The episode closes in the interrogation room, and the police tell Nano that Marina was pregnant. Nano then says he believes Samuel killed her out of jealousy. Episode 4. Love is a Drug. This one opens up with Samuel confessing his love to Marina, and she doesn't quite know what to feel, especially since she just banged his brother. She asks him to go to another party her father is throwing, but her father doesn't want him there. Guzman asks for Nadia's forgiveness once again, and she says she will forgive him if he tells her family what he did to her and how he planned on hurting her emotionally. He goes over to her house and tells them everything, and Nadia is shocked because she didn't think he would actually do it. He then invites her to his father's party as well. The night of the party arrives, and everyone shows up all fancy dressed. Lucretia is mad when she realizes that Guzman invited Nadia, and Ventura is upset when he sees Samuel came as well. Samuel then gets upset with Marina for inviting him, but knowing he wasn't even on the guest list. He is embarrassed and wants to stop being called the charity kid at school. Marina and Samuel then share their first kiss. She's just hopping from brother to brother. Over to Nano, who was told his debt would be settled if he killed this guy they wanted dead. But whenever Nano goes to do it, he can't go through with it and tells the guy to get out of town. Guzman and Samuel catch Omar and Ander kissing outside of the party and are shocked. The three-person relationship continues to grow closer as well. Such a weird dynamic. Nano's loan sharks find out he didn't kill the target and tell him his payment is now double what it was before, and they shoot him in his stomach. When he gets home, Samuel is in the bathroom and Nano tells Marina about his little predicament, and she says she'll help get the money for him. The episode ends telling us the story of Pablo, who was a student at the school who was the one who infected Marina, and Guzman beat his ass for it, and Pablo left the school. He hasn't been heard of since. Episode 5. Everyone Lies. Everyone is still wondering who could have hurt Marina because she didn't really have any enemies and she was loved by many. At school in the past, Marina and Samuel argue with each other when Samuel says to stay away from Nano, and nothing ever good comes from working with him. Samuel also tells her about trying to steal the safe contents at her house. Guzman invites Nadia to his birthday party. Marina confronts Nano about his plan he had, and Nano admits to it and says at first he only banged her so he could get close to her dad's safe. But now he likes her, but she is also with Samuel. A little later, she tells Samuel she wants to take his virginity, and he gets all giddy. Polo and Christian start to become good friends because of their threesome parties. Carla starts to get close to Marina when it is revealed to the whole school that Marina is HIV positive, and she wants to be there for her as they were friends growing up, but drifted apart. They head over to Carla's house after school one day and share a glass of wine. Lucretia goes over to Guzman's house and tries to get busy with him, but he isn't in the mood and can't stop thinking of Nadia. When she was at Carla's house, Marina stole some house keys there, and she gives the keys to Nano so he can burglarize their home when no one is there. Marina will distract Carla at school while he goes and robs them. He grabs all of the expensive watches and bounces out of there before he can be caught by Carla's dad. That night, Marina and Samuel do the deed, and he loses his V-card. She's now 2 for 2 on brothers. After they hook up, a little later she meets with Nano, and they kiss in the pouring rain like they're in The Notebook. The following day at school, she is really stressed, and she smokes some weed, then passes out in the girls' bathroom and starts losing quite a bit of blood on her face. Episode 6. Everything is going to be fine. This episode opens with Marina seeing her father getting arrested, and it looks like his shady business dealings finally came back to haunt him. He was arrested for embezzlement and fraud. Guzman and Marina are really embarrassed at school because everyone thinks they are poor now, and their lives have been a lie. Marina is caught with weed in her locker by the principal, and there is a strict no drugs policy. She is forced to be expelled, or tell the principal who sold the weed to her, and she rats out Omar. Marina finds out one of the watches that Nano stole needs to be returned because of what it means to Carla's family, but whenever Marina asks Nano for it back, He says he sold it to pay off his debts. Marina passes out, and they take her to a doctor where she learns she is pregnant. The doctor said she is 4 weeks pregnant, so that means it wasn't Samuel and the father most likely is Nano. She can't bring herself to tell Samuel the truth. Guzman finds out his family needs to come up with 300,000 euros so his dad can make bail, and he says he won't ever be able to look at his dad the same again. He's a fraud and a thief. Carla is determined to find out who stole the watch. Marina doesn't know what to do about the baby. Nano goes with her to the clinic and says he supports whatever decision she makes. Nano wants her to run away with him. Meanwhile, Polo and Christian hook up without Carla even being present. They are bisexual. The school principal calls Omar's dad and tells him about his selling weed, and boy, is his dad not happy. Nadia is pissed when she finds out Marina was the one that ratted Omar out, perhaps giving her a motive to kill her. The episode closes with Samuel and Marina fighting because he knows she is hiding something and won't tell him who the father is. Episode 7. Everything explodes. This one starts out with many cuts of all the characters being interviewed by the police. It is also shown Nano didn't get rid of the red watch, but now wants to use it to blackmail Carla's father for 90,000 euros. They set up an exchange for the following day. Later on at school, Nadia confronts Marina about ruining her brother's life, and then Carla asks to speak with Marina alone as well. Carla knows she stole the keys when she came over, and that is how someone burglarized her home. Carla tells her to return the red watch or her family will take Marina down. Carla then breaks up with Polo when she says she knows he likes boys. She then races to Christian to be with him. Later on, Guzman tells Lucrecia he is in love with Nadia, which disgusts Lucrecia. Omar goes over to Anders' house and they hook up even though Omar is supposed to be working, and after their sex sesh, Anders' mom arrives home and sees them kissing on the porch. Anders' mom tells him she doesn't care that he is gay, but he can't be gay with a Muslim drug dealer, and Anders tells her he will do what he wants and he wants to marry Omar. Speaking of Omar, his dad learns from a kid at the school that his son is gay, and when he confronts Omar about it, Omar denies it and is too afraid to tell the truth. Marina's dad is then bailed out of jail whenever Carla's dad pays it. He knows about the watch and he orders Marina to hand it over or his dad will be thrown right back in jail. A huge screaming match breaks out and Marina confesses she is pregnant, which pisses Guzman off, and he wants to rip Nano's head off. He goes to confront him and a huge fight happens, and then Samuel realizes his brother is the father. Samuel goes home and breaks his bathroom mirror in anger. Episode 8. Assilah. Season Finale. The finale opens with someone dressed in all black, knocking Samuel out when he gets home. Marina and Nano are planning on running off together. Nano realizes Carla's dad was responsible for the break-in, and they keep trying to blackmail each other into getting what they want. Nano wants to sell the watch and then run away with Marina. An end-of-the-school-year bash is held for all the students where family and friends can come as well. Guzman talks with Nadia's dad and tells him how awesome of a person Nadia is, and he's a great father. Pretty much just sucking up because her dad wants her to transfer schools and get away from all the drama. Marina sneaks away from the party and heads over by the pool to think, and she brings the trophy in hand. Samuel then shows up and argues with her, and they end up kissing and making up. After he returns to the party, she calls Nano and says she can't run off with him anymore. Polo then arrives and demands her to give the watch back because Polo thinks if he returns the watch to Carla, Carla will be with him again. When she says no, Polo knocks her upside the head with the trophy and leaves to go walk in on Christian and Carla banging. Polo gives Carla the watch back, and Carla helps clean all the blood off of him. Nano then arrives and Marina dies in his arms. He leaves before the cops come, but as he is running out, Samuel sees him, and that's why he thought Nano did it. Carla convinces Christian to stay quiet. A few days later, after the interviews, the police arrest Nano for the murder since his DNA was all over her, and Polo just sits there and lets an innocent man get arrested for a crime he committed. The season closes with Samuel begging Christian to help him clear his brother's name, and Christian is one of the only people who know the truth, but he doesn't know what to do. The last shot of the season is the murder weapon underneath the lake by the school. And that is it for Season 1 of the show. I will be doing Season 2 in my next video, so hope you're able to check that one out as well. Thanks for watching.